My company is Crystal Wage Technology Screen, and we are the inventors of the Supreme 12 ambient light rejection, Supreme Exotic ambient light rejection 15, and the Advanced ambient light rejection 17. All right, so I'm gonna go back upstairs. Got to go with my stand. I left it right upstairs when I came downstairs. I usually get on a little earlier than this, but I had house cleaning to do because the house was a complete mess, and I needed to straighten up and clean some things down in the house. So anyway, we're online right now. So I've got a few customers. I'm gonna get my stand. I got a few customers have been asking me about laser projectors. I actually have a laser projector. It's a Casio laser and LED hybrid projector. They're still official laser projectors. And I'll tell you a few things about these projectors if you decide to go get one. So let me come up here and get my stand that I left upstairs. And like I said, every morning when I get up, that window's open, got my window open so I can enjoy my screen. We're not going to be in here today. We're not in the other room, we're going to be downstairs today. So I had a few people asking about laser projectors, and one guy, real cool dude, we got to talking on the phone. He wanted to purchase a projector, I think from Best Buy. And I think the fellow in there was telling him that those laser projectors don't show up on black screens all that well. This is the reason why I had so many projectors. We can do all those tests. Because in the description of the 12s and all the other screen paints we develop, when it says what category of projector you can use, the laser is actually one of them. All right, so this right here is a Casio laser and LED DLP hybrid projector. This projector does actually have an official laser right there. It says laser and LED hybrid. They don't have lamps, and this is a completely lamp-free projector. Never have to change the lamp on here ever. And I was telling people, when you buy these projectors on eBay, make sure it has the lens cover, because that could mean the difference if you walking in front of this thing and it messing you up. Now see how it's in standby mode? That laser is still active. Just because you turn it off doesn't mean that it can't cause some physical damage to you, your kids, or your dog, or pets who may be walking by and may get hit by this thing. So I learned it the hard way. I had two of these. I did have a lens shield on my other one we used to have, and I went upstairs to take care of some business. Left the I'm not gonna walk in front of it. Left the lens such like this. When I came downstairs, flash of light went off on the side of my face and hit my peripheral vision, and I had little white spots for the remainder of the day that I had to deal with, because that laser is still active. And that's why when you buy these projectors, you want to make sure that you get that cover. Now you have a shiny coating right there that allows for the laser to ricochet up this and bounce right back into the chamber. So you want to always make sure that's covered up right there if you decide to get one of these. Now the ones they have for ultra short, though, are a little different. They have a sensor. If you lean over top of it, automatically the projector will shut off. So that keeps you from getting hit with the laser. But usually when they had the long throw laser projectors when they first came out, there were some people that were pretty much getting messed up because you'd walk in front of the same thing, hit you in the side of the face, and that would be it. But yeah, it's a Casio laser and laser and LED projectors. That's what these are. You want a cheap laser projector? Well, I got this one for 160 bucks. All right, so let's get this off. Come over here and set up. We're going to be on the black screen because the comment was made toward black screens if a laser projector could pick up on one of these screens. So let's fire up. Now my projector here is 2500 lumens. It's a 720p projector. I wonder if I have, oh, I forgot to run through the fire stick. So fire sticks, you have to activate those. They don't automatically activate. You have to activate those yourself. Just a little bit. Oh, just a little bit better. So yeah. So keep in mind, the reason why when people ask me why do you have so many projectors is because I had to test my screens on everything, and I mean everything, which means I like these little laser projectors. I've done this over again on these projectors many times. Let me see, I'm making sure I'm nice and even here. All right.
Welcome to the Disney Bundle, where Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN
I'm gonna bring this back a little bit more.
all your screens. Transforming your world with 3 incredible streaming services and seemingly limitless possibilities. Bold Hulu originals, Disney
There you go.
hits,
I'm gonna get a big enough screen out of this.
delivering something for everyone. Upgrade your entertainment with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Yeah, a little better.
Disney Bundle for only $12.99 a month.
Light up your new year and shine your brightest with Cadillac.
So yep, there's the answer to your question. Laser projectors do work on our technology. Even the black one, in the black technology we developed. Now keep in mind, we're doing this at a distance throw. If you're using an ultra short throw laser projector, it is definitely going to pop up because your distance throw is at a less of a distance. I'll put the model number of my projector when we're done the demonstration. So we are on my screen. About 9 feet away from the screen. Put this right here. There's the measuring tape. So there we are. 9 feet away. Okay. All right, which one was this? This was, check it real quick, so I got no channel. And this will show you the distance. Come back here. Show you where my projector is sitting, about 9 feet back from the screen. And that's the angle gain. And as you can see, we have a ton of light in the environment. So yes, a black technology that we developed does work with lasers. And keep in mind, if you do use this with ultra short throw, you have a much lesser chance. Well, actually, not lesser chances. The image is going to show up regardless because ultra short throw, you're literally going to be sitting right on top of the screen. Where right here at laser, we're at about 9 feet away from the screen in a fully lit environment, and we can still pull the image up at 2,500 lumens. I think this projector is, oh man, I got to think of the res. I forgot the res on these projectors, but I do know that it's 720p. So it's 720p at around 2,500 lumens. And this is what we can pick up. So, sorry about that. Man, I'm gonna let that play for a bit. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm hungry. Remember the tape? There we go. Want some milk? Now I'm gonna cover my projector for a minute because, like I said, I'm not walking in front of this bad boy when I turn it on. And for those of you who have white screens, and keep in mind, after I did the demonstration with the Elite screen, and I showed you with the white sheet of paper, you can't tell the difference from one from the other. So, this is if you have a laser projector, and you are, I dropped myself on the floor, and you are basically going to use this on a white screen. But there's you saying, well, it's a piece of paper, there's an equal white screen. Well, up in that cabinet over there, I have an Elite white screen. And that piece of paper you put against it, you can tell one from the other. I'll bring it back a little bit. There we go. This would be too much light anyway for a white screen. This is way too much light for a white screen. You would have to be in the dark in order for the image to pick up. Okay. So let's look at a gray screen. We'll get the Cinema Gray 5D right here. So let's see if we have one of these screens. We're going to get improvement off a laser. There. So we get. Now you pick up your color a lot better than the white screen, but contrast is still not going to be there. All right, so now we'll bring it up to a Dark Star 9, a much darker surface. As I say, this is a certified screen. They're all certified except for that white piece of paper. We'll put, whoops, whoa, almost made that mistake again. Yeah, once you do that number, you won't forget that one ever again. You will never forget that ever again. All right. Now, Dark Star 9 is going to give off better color, slightly a better contrast than the white sheet of paper and the Cinema Grade 5D. Or Cinema, am I saying that right? Cinema Grade 5D? Yeah, yeah. Okay, correctly. That's when I explained to you, contrast is everything. That's why when you look at the black silvers can produce contrast levels. They're coded. All those screens are coded to pull that contrast level. As a matter of fact, I might be in the process of actually redoing the unicorn. The unicorn we may be making a little bit darker, and we might be calling it onyx unicorn to make it a little darker so they can pick up the contrast a little better. That contrast is needed desperately when it comes to screens, because without that contrast level, you would think the white levels are all that great. The white levels can be fair. Your contrast levels will be the most important thing to pull up on your screen. Because without that contrast level, that means your white levels are too high, and it means your screen can't pop. It means the colors are not going to pull up correctly, and you're not going to really see what you call a black level. Some people sit in the dark in a dedicated theater, and they really think they're seeing black levels. You're not seeing black levels. You're seeing shades of gray. Now, let's go for something outside of Elite screens. I butcher this company's name every single time, but I'm going to butcher it again. Parallax. This is their pure 0.8 gain. Right? Nice dark surface, as you can see. Put that right here. Got plenty of room. We have $5,000, $1,300 to $1,400, or $4,000. I'll get for $4,000 too. This is around $2,000, $3,000. It's a white screen. White screens are cheap. White screens are pretty much, they're a dime a dozen. That's why they're all over Amazon and eBay. People get those screens and they think that the image that they're seeing in that Photoshop image pushed into that little screen, they think that's the image you're going to get, and they're far from it. These are all certified screens. Like I said, 12s have already been through this already before, so just repeating what 12s have already can do. And this is at 2,500 lumens. Yesterday I did a video on the 5,000 lumen Chrissy on the 12 and the 1,800 lumen projector on the 12. Now we're at 2,500 lumens. We're about 9 feet back from the screen. Let's start pulling up. Like I said, this projector right here, I got it for around, I think about $139. I explained to you before, there's nothing wrong with the projectors. The screens haven't caught up. Some people just set up a home theater system. They probably wouldn't even go near this projector. 720p, 2500 lumens. They wouldn't go near it. So if you're going to spend all this money for these projection screens, the money they cost, a projector like this doesn't look good on the screen. Well, my product costs less, and we can make the 720p look amazing. Let's go over to let's bring some colors in here and color patterns. All right. First, we'll bring up white. White screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Already bad sign from the door. White levels are way too high. Red screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Just at the color red. Yeah, that'll work. There you go. If you got a white screen, you're not picking up nothing. And I mean nothing. Which is interesting because I said that when you go to Amazon or eBay, there's nothing but white screens on there. Unless you run into an elite screen that has a category where you can pick out what screen you want. Sometimes you get a little slighter gray, or you might get a little gray, or maybe like a light gray or like a mid gray. You'll get something like that. But if you want to go to the flagships like the Dark Star 9 or the Infinity Blade by DMP Supernova, or the high-end screens, you got to go to a dealership to get one of those. You're not buying off of eBay. You might be getting one off eBay used. They may have a brand new one there. I'm not sure. I need to look into that before I actually say that. But I know for a fact on Amazon, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon. I know for a fact you're not going to buy Dark Star 9 off of there. You're going to have to go to a dealership to get that. But most of the screens, you're going to run into a white screen. So that's what you usually do. People go in there and they'll buy a white screen, and they'll see that Photoshop picture on there, and they'll think, oh, wow, I can get the same image. Like, look how beautiful the image looks. Not realizing that is a Photoshop image on there. That's not the actual screen functioning. I have an elite white screen right there in my cabinet over there. Doesn't look the same way. You hit that, the first thing you're going to say, well, you call anybody up, and they're going to say, well, you got any form site? How come the image doesn't look the way it's supposed to look? What kind of projector you got? And they say, well, I got this projector right here, so and so. So you may want to upgrade that to like a 4K. That's what you're going to have. You're going to need to utilize to get the best picture quality. I mean, your projector is way below the limits. You can't use that. So that's going to cost you money. Or maybe your environment's not correct. Maybe you have too much light in your environment, and maybe you have to go to the point of equalizing your lights of going to an ambient light controlled environment. Because in here, we got too much light. I have light coming in from a kitchen, and over top here, we got light coming in from the next room. So it's way too much light in here for some of these screens. So they're having a problem with that too. So you may have to go in and basically start adjusting your lights in your environment to darken the screen, so that way your colors can pull up a little better. Or, that's pretty much what you're going to have to go. And then there's going to be the fact that they're going to tell you that you have to calibrate your projector, which means now you got to go calibrate the projector so you can get the colors to adjust just right. When I can just come in here with a $139 projector, turn it on, and boom, my screen pops on. Don't worry about the lighting in the environment. Don't worry about calibrating my projector. It doesn't make a difference if it's 1080p or 4K. This is 2500 lumens at 720p. And someone would look at this projector and say, oh, that's a piece of garbage. That's old. Well, it may be an old projector, but it looks fantastic. I'm going to spend $5,000 for a projection screen and I can't get the color to pull correctly. And it just shows you to spend a lot of money. So for the $3,000 you bought on a projector, you know how many projectors I could buy with $3,000? Let's go over to, we got the color changer on here. I think we got the color changer on here. Let's bring up green, the color green. I think I butchered that one. Pretty good. Oh, there we go. You got it right there. Now the Dark Star 9 picked that up pretty well. Because like I said, it's a darker screen. But that's a $3,000 screen. $2,000 to $3,000 projection screen. The white screen, on the other hand, it's not picking up nothing at all, period. That is definitely going to have you in the dark. It's a shame because some places, if you go to like Best Buy, they will sell you an expensive projector and then sell you a white screen and say, well, you know, all you have to do, this projector is going to give you the greatest picture quality you could possibly get. Oh, no, it's not. It's just not going to work. Color pink.
Getting that from YouTube.
All right. Color gray.
Getting that from YouTube.
You got a black screen that pulls a gray image. Color sky blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, that's when I watch these demonstrations. You have to do your research. If you're going to be in this field, you have to do your research. You have to do your research with other companies. You have to study their technology in order to be able to either match their technology or be better than their technology. And that's one of the things when I watch Elite Screens and I watch DMP Super and when I watch these companies, I'm staring at your environment. I really don't stare at your screen all like that. I'm staring at your environment because your environment will tell me the whole entire story of how your screen can react and how it does react. And then I'll watch video after video seeing that they repeat the exact same environment every single time. And if it's done that way, similar to the same thing, it just shows me that you have to be in a certain kind of environment in order to activate that screen. That's what it tells me on my end. That's why when I saw the demonstration, when I saw with Elite Screens, the hallway literally had more light than the room that they're actually showing off the projectors. Most of the lamps were sitting behind the screen. Every single window was blocked by projection screens, and they were only using short throw and ultra short throw projectors. And I guarantee this projectors had to be anywhere between 4K and 8K, or probably 5,000 lumens and up. Guarantee you. And I guarantee they were calibrated too. Sony 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
This is not Sony, it's a Samsung, but I'll show you something right here. White levels are too high. The contrast will never pick up on one of these screens correctly. And the Dark Star 9, I hate to say it, not to be disrespectful to Elite Screens, it's no match for a screen that's 100% jet black. Remember I showed you the red levels fading? This is why I show you the different colors first, with no abstract in the middle, just solid colors. And now you'll see when you watch your demonstration, you'll see how the colors react. So if any form of contrast comes up on the screen, your screen's going to suffer. White levels, you'll pick up, but the colors and all that, that's not going to happen. I'm ready to get into conversations. People say, oh, you got to calibrate. No, you don't have to calibrate a projector. No. No, old calibrating projectors came from, like I said, white screens have been since the silent era in movies. Calibrating projectors came out when screens were all white. That's when you had a calibrated projector. Couldn't get the colors come up correctly. Then they started that ambient light controlled environment. Who came up with that idea? So you got a screen that's ambient light rejection, but yet it has to be in an environment that's ambient light controlled. It doesn't even sound right. It's like saying these are the most advanced off-road tires you can possibly have for your truck, but you can only drive them on a certain kind of gravel. Has to be a controlled gravel environment. No huge hilly rocks or none of that stuff that you wouldn't think you're going to get out of the vehicle, but no. So they tell you have to be, they give you these protocols, and the protocols are pretty much what they're telling you that our screen can't do this. Let's come out of here. Let's pop into. Let's bring this up. Remember when I showed you the reds first? This is why. And for those of you who have the white screens, like I said, that's what you're going to pick up. That's what you're going to see all day. That image is going to wash out. Doesn't make a difference how much money you spend for your projector. That's why when I saw the guy who had that amazing setup on Facebook, he had a white screen. I said, nice setup, but why would you have a white screen up there? Let's go to, let me see. I already did butcher how I wrote this out. Hold on, go for a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's come here. I'm going to do this one right here. This is going to be a bright demonstration. Just to show you how high the white levels are on our black technology. So usually when people do demonstrations like this, they'll stay within the contrast. I can stay within contrast all day long because I know my screen's black. It's going to pull contrast your screen's going to even begin to do. But we can also dabble into areas that are actually where the screen shouldn't be at. And areas that have really bright colors because the screens don't fade, they don't wash out. And as you can see from corner to corner, my screen maintains the image with no problem. So like I said, we're 9 feet back. This screen pulled this image at 1,000 lumens at 13 feet. So like I said, this is not a problem for the technology. Can't take the certified screens out because none of these screens that I have up here are designed for outdoor. So you can't have them out there. So that's why right now I've been online the last couple of days ordering from their companies, trying to figure out who has outdoor projection screens and buying their samples from them. And I'm gonna call it before the summertime even gets here. A 12 outside versus an Elite Yardmaster, that's not going to be pretty. That's a black screen that can pull up contrast and just about everything under the sun next to a screen that is going to be white outside. I forgot to find out how much the Yardmasters cost too. We got to do a price comparison too. The heck do I keep bumping down this corner? I had to use this projector more often. It's been sitting downstairs in the shop. I had to use it more often. So that background stays solid black. That's the way it's supposed to look. If that background turns slightly gray, then there's a problem. If you're emitting for a screen, now keep in mind, if you're emitting this screen to have the ability to pull 100% contrast or compare it to a black screen, you're not going to be able to pull that contrast level. And we got screens in here that will never ever match a 12. They can't. Screen's jet black. It's 100% jet black. So there's no screen we have in here that can match except the Limitless. Limitless can match that screen because Limitless is actually darker than this. The 17s are darker than these screens. Now we got screens that can mimic a contrast level. Some of the contrast levels are fair, but to say they're equal to a 12, no. Let's go over here and let's grab this one, but I want to get over to a little girl's walk into the field.
Try Wawa's warm and savory barbecue brisket, made from the finest cut.
Let's bring this up a little bit. I want to get to where the bright colors are. This one will be at. If I did this right here with the contrast. Now the contrast isn't kicked in yet. There we go. See how the technology in 12s can go from a bright level to a dark level with no problem. Kind of like saying that we can play in your backyard, but can you play in ours? This is our backyard. I'll tell you, when I got this morning, I was thinking, what projector we're going to use today? When I say we, I mean it's me and God. And he said, go downstairs and get the laser projector. So that's what we have, the laser projector here today. Because we had a few customers contacting us about using ultra short throw laser projectors. Now, like I said, an ultra short throw laser projector would show up on our screen with no problem, because keep in mind that's what, less than a foot away from a screen. We're at 9 feet away at 2,500 lumens, and the screen still pulls. So let's go over here. I'm going to pull up the one with, here we go. We're going to go from the dark to light again. So I'm going to bring it back a little farther here. So now we're pulling our contrast levels with no problem. And then we'll switch over to a bright image from there. Now remember the color patterns I was showing you, different greens and reds, how the colors actually fade. This is why. The Dark Star 9, I think it would be the better screen out of all these screens. It does maintain a better contrast level. But being to produce 100% black level, no, I haven't put the star field on yet. It won't be to pick it up. And consider the fact of price too. So you're talking about, let's see, just say we do a 100-inch screen, only 16.9. Nope, just a 100-inch screen. Dark Star 9 would come in between $2,000 and $3,000. The white screen would probably cost you anywhere from $100, you know, $98 to $100 for a white screen. Fixed frame too at that. The Cinema Gray would run you between $1,300 to $1,400, and the Parallax, if I'm saying that correctly, I didn't butcher the daylights out of that one, would cost you in a price range of $4,000 to $5,000. That's for a 100-inch. And keep in mind that several of these screens are not compatible with ultra short throw, so you would have to spend an extra maybe $1,000 or maybe $900. It's not going to be cheap to make it an ultra short throw compatible screen. And if you want to take it outside, well, that's not going to happen because I don't think only one company here makes an outdoor screen. I got to check the rest. I know the Elite does, and that's the Yardmaster. I think that's like they got one that's a gray, one that is a kind of a silver, and the other one I think is white. That's one they have is white. Where the 12 to paint a 150-inch of that technology would cost my customers around $148 around that price. 1 quart would cost them around $126, but you can paint a screen size of 100-inch to 120 inches, which means you have the option to paint 2 different screens, 100-inch or 120-inch max. They're ultra short though compatible, laser compatible. You can take them outside. They're fully weatherproof. There you go. And you don't have to have a godforsaken expensive projector in order to get the image to pop up correctly. No calibration required, and they're ambient light projection technology. And that's at a quart for 100-inch to 120-inch. Now, if you were to go out and you spent $183, that's a gallon. That'll pay you up to about a 190-inch screen. So if these screens right here, even the cheapest one on here would probably be the white screen. If you want to do 180-inch, probably talking about $234, probably $240 at the most, $250 around at most. About that much for a white screen. The rest of these screens, if they cost you anywhere from $2,000, $3,000 to $5,000 for a 100-inch, what do you think a 180-inch will cost you? And then we're switching back over to contrast. So we went from bright to contrast to bright, back to contrast again. And I forgot about the plus side. You can take the technology and paint on anything you want. Oh, by the way, the giant 235.1 screen you're seeing here was a silver ticket. This was a white silver ticket that I bought. Their technology coated with our technology to turn it into this. That's what I'm saying, that if a company ever pops up and says, now keep in mind, silver ticket sells pretty good. I like silver tickets, they sell pretty good screens. If they ever decide to come and say, hey, you know what, we want to buy your coating to coat all our white screens, and they could charge 10 times more for them, because now you're looking at a silver ticket white screen that I paid $518 for, and now it's been coated with the 12. It is now actually much more advanced than the screens you're seeing sitting up on top of the road right now that cost far more than a silver ticket. All right, let's pop out of this one real quick. Let's bring up Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's see. Which one we're going to play with? We're going to get this one right here, or this one. Let's do this one right here. Enough said. right there. So you can see I got light coming in from my kitchen that hits my screen right there from the windows right there. And I got light that comes in this room and hits the screen right here. And then we're in here at this overhead light. And be careful not to walk in front of the laser. Like I said, in any of their demonstrations, you will never see them use a 720p projector. They will use the most high-tech, most expensive projector that they can possibly get their hands on to do their demonstrations. You gotta ask yourself, if you do have the money to go out and spend the money for the screen, and you don't have the money to spend for the projector, what are the chances are that your screen is going to look exactly like the same way their screen is going to look like, even though they were using a high-end projector? That's why I don't basically believe in having high-end expensive projectors, is because when you show off your screen, you have to be able to prove that the image quality is going to look good. And that means with the contrast, different shades of color. You're going to show the same demonstration you just did with the big boy screen, you're going to do it with the small screen. That's why I do the side-by-side comparisons. So you can see a 5,000 lumen projector, Christie, right next to a projector that's a ViewSonic that's 600 by 800 res, 720p. And show you there's not much of a difference in between the two screens. If you're watching a demonstration, a person's using a high-end projector, there is no way in the world your screen's going to look like that. Now without that projection. Now let me go in here real quick. Let me pull up something before we skedaddle for the day. I think today's Saturday. I don't know if I got anything coming in today. I know Tuesday Battery Boy gets here. That's what I named my battery generator. Battery Boy and Big Boy. So Big Boy's going to be powered up soon. He's going to be awakening really soon. I can't wait to fire that thing up. Should have went with that battery generator a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I ordered one already at around 1,800 lumens. I'm sorry, 1,800 lumens. Wow, that's how much projectors I'm into. Ordered 1,800 watts of power. And I got another one coming, and it's going to be 4,000. Oh, man, because these things are fantastic now. Load up right up on them. I know they've been out for a while. I'm a little late on this, but, you know, I barely deliver. A lot cheaper than spending the money to have an electrician go in and charge me all this money to put in the outputs. Let me see what we're going to go here with. Let's go with this demonstration right here. My little projector here. See what I'm going to play. We'll use... we've done this one enough times. I'm going to do this one right here. It don't really make a difference, does it?
You think that I would do that to you, to go behind your back after everything that we've been through?
Okay. Now let's check them real quick. I'm going to go into my menu. Oh, by the way, my projector's in eco mode. Kind of forgot to tell you that. You want to see the settings of my projector? See, when I have people... This projector, when I do this demonstration with this particular projector, one of the things I love about this... I'll show you in a few minutes. One of the things that I love about this is when people think my settings in my projector are like through the roof. And they don't realize that when I show off my Christie projectors, and these are big boy projectors, my brightness on my projector is only at 22 in my Christies. And they're in whisper mode. They'll do whisper modes. I don't have to bring up. All my projectors in my house are all set on eco mode because the screens generate that much gain. So number one, my lamps last me forever. I can burn my lamps all night. And these suckers will pretty much use very little energy from the lamps. Now remember, we'll go back here for a minute. We're going to rewind back here for a minute. I remember when I first started showing off more on these black screens that one of the comments that I received was the reason why the screens had the ability to pull up such high white levels is because the lumens that we were using in our projectors were 43. We're using Sony projectors 43 and 5,000 lumens, and that's the reason why. When I bought the 1,000 lumen projector, and we did a lot of demonstrations of the 1,000 lumen projectors, then that particular theory was thrown out the window, and then it went to maybe his settings are through the roof. So that's when we started displaying settings showing this is the settings on our projector. Now, my Casio projector, through the entire time, you watch my Casio projector, my laser projector, outperform some very serious certified screens. But I'm going to show you what my settings are on my Casio are. So right now, my projector, you see how bright the image is on right there. Be careful not to turn around and look at this thing. But you see how bright that image looks on my screen right there, my all jet black screen, the 12. Let me show you where my settings sit at on my projector. So this is my settings on my projector, 13. My brightness is only at 13. My contrast is at -1. All my settings are in standard and normal. Nothing's altered in it. Actually, when you get the factory settings on your projector, depending on where they land at, like say you have like your brightness goes up to 100, then that means it will be at 50. Everything will be right down the middle, right? This is below factory settings. Let me show you, we'll come out of here and we'll scroll down a bit here. And I'll show you this right here. There you go. The entire time when I was doing a demonstration, my projector at 2500 lumens that sat in around 13 was in eco mode the entire time. Black screen, fully lit environment. I thought I'd save that for last. So keep in mind, with these sample sheets I have up there, all these sample sheets I have are not jet black. My screen is jet black. So bottom line, it's going to have to fight even harder to pull white level and to maintain that white level, even at a projector, and still maintain the white level against screens that are far brighter than my screen, because these screens aren't exactly black, as you can see, especially against a white sheet of paper in the cinema gray, which is actually a very light gray screen. Maintain the white level, maintain the color, maintain the contrast, and do it with a projector at 2500 lumens, 9 feet back, fully lit environment on eco mode 1 at 13 in brightness, below factory settings, and still can pull the image. I tell you, when God gives you something, it's amazing. That's why he had me choose this projector for the day's demonstration. LG snowboarding demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, if I were to bring my projector to 50%, which I don't need to bring the 50, you can stay at the 13 where it's at. Let's see if we can bring up the LG. LG snowboarding.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's try another one. Those settings. Matter of fact, let's make this interesting. Let's go into my settings and let's bring it down the brightness down to 13. Let's bring it to 10. So I remember how to get into this menu. All right. There we go. Let's bring it down to 10. All right. And I can make sure I don't turn around and get Medusa by my freaking projector. All right. So now we got it down to 10. Imagine if you were to burn your projector at 10 on Eco Mode 1, do you have any idea how well this projector's gonna have a lamp in? These are lamp-free projectors, but if you did have a lamp in it, you know how long your lamp would last you? Let's see if we can go lower than that. Let's bring it down to 0. Now we are way, way, way below factory settings. Let's see how much punishment the screen will take. See, it's the reason why when and I hate to bring this up, we had people trying to say the screens were so dark you couldn't see them. Yeah, we knew that was a lie. And we're way below factory settings. And still in eco mode. Like I said, this technology can pull images outside at 1,000 lumens. So inside, this is nothing. I'm not happy with that. Let's go a little lower. Let's see if we go, now we're going to go to minus. We're going to go even lower than that. Let's bring it back even down more. Let's go to minus 10. So now we're dropping at minus 10 to see how much punishment the screen will take. Minus 10. Can we still maintain a white level on a black screen? Okay. And my projector, as I said before, sits back 9 feet from the screen. Let's bring it back even farther. Let's go now to, we got -10. We'll make it -20. See how far we can darken the screen. Now we're at -20. So when I tell you that these screens have some of the coding to allow the screen to be able to read white levels, and then with an ambient light rejection 12 embedded in with it, yeah, they can take a ton of punishment and they can still maintain white levels. Because if the white levels weren't picking up, this screen would be so dark you wouldn't be able to see it. Strip light coming in the screen there. Got the overhead light. And let's lean to the side. Let's go even darker. Let's see if we can go darker than that. Let's go to, let's see, we got -20. Let's bring it back even farther. Let's see if we can go back to -30. How far can we go? So now we're at -30 because I want you to be able to see the same thing I'm seeing. -30. Vision's got to be pretty good when you can sit back 9 feet and see your screen and still be able to see the digits bounce back. I can actually see my screen from here. I told you 20/20 vision. It's not 20/20. It's probably a little less than what it was when I was younger, but it's not bad for a person who's 53 years old. I can sit back 9 feet and I can see my whatchamacallit crystal clear. I can see the digits when I pull them back at 30. I got to bring it up to you so you can see what I'm watching, I'm seeing. And God is good. And you can still see the screen with no problem. Now, I gotta push this a little farther. All right, okay. We got to figure. Okay, now I'm gonna see how much. I'm excited about this now. Let's go back. Let's see if we can bring it back the whole full. Let's bring it back to 50. Can we darken at 50? We should be darkening it at 50 now. We should have it at 50. Now we're at -50. Let's see what we can get. At -50 eco mode. How we made the screen unseeable. Unseeable. Is it possible? Yeah, everything's possible. Make it darker than that. Bring it back up a bit. No, not there. It's way up there. There we go. So -50 eco mode, 720p, 2500 lumens at about 9 feet back from the screen in a fully lit environment. Now see, when I see an image of just a jet black image in the middle, like as dark as this, and you could barely see through it, that's how we know the product was tampered with. Because we know that on a projector, we could bring this back -50, and that image would still show clean. That's how we know. This is nothing new. These are tests we do all the time. I'm just showing you this. But these are tests we do all the time. I have to bring a projector back. When I do a demonstration of black screens, when we test them out, we have to bring it all the way back. How far can we bring it back before the screen becomes to the point where you really can't see it? So that's why when I have people saying they can't see the screen correctly, I'll say, send me a picture of your projector settings. because I can tell by your settings in your projector on exactly. I had one guy, and I'm not going to say everybody does this, but we had one fellow basically had all his settings pulled all the way back. And then he said, this is what the image looks like. This is what I'm getting. Well, let me see inside your projector real quick. When he showed me the settings, I looked and I said, wait a minute, you know, you're not even at factory settings. You're below factory settings. So it was like this when I bought it. That's not true. The only way it'd be like that if you bought it, unless you bought it from somebody who previously owned the projector, then maybe their settings would be, for some strange reason, would be that far down. I don't know why. But if you bought it from a store, everything is in factory settings, which means it's even Steven right down the middle. So that's how I know he pulled that settings all the way back, took the picture and said, this is the image he was pulling up. And when I saw the settings and I saw where they were at, I was like, no. You pulled the settings down and then you took those pictures. Yeah, we know. So let's go to, we got it pretty dark. Let's see if we can get it even darker than this. So we're going to go back into our settings again. We're going to bring it down to 0. Let's see, oh no, we should be to darken it now. So 50, we have it minus 50. Let's bring it all the way down to minus, oh, this is going to definitely darken. This screen goes past. Wow, that's pretty interesting. This goes, I thought at 100 we would hit, but not even at 100. This screen goes past 100. Is that freaking interesting? Not the screen, but the projector. All right, so we're going to really darken it now. Let's see what we get now. Yeah, we should have pretty much darkened it by now. And this is why I asked to see your settings. So, this is usually what somebody would try to do. Now, see, my settings are all the way down to 150. Let me see. See how my settings are all the way down to minus like 106, where we have it at? They'll take a picture like that and say, look, this is how the image comes up. It's too dark. And then I'll say, hey, let me go look at your settings in your projector. Some people argue with me on that. They want to show me the settings in the projector. Oh, it's enough, and the brightness is all the way up. I heard every excuse in the book. Let me see your brightness in your, let me see the settings. When they switch that thing on and I see something that looks like that or close to that, I know exactly automatically from the door. Now, I don't even have to bring this up to we got it 106. If I go into my projector right now, we're going to my projector, we'll go right here. And let's say we bring it up to, so we're still in the minus. We're not even at plus. We'll bring it up at where we used to have it. Remember, we're bringing it at 10. We're just going to bring it at 10. 9, 8, no, see right here? This is where we're at. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you this. We're at minus. This is at minus 2, right? So we'll leave it at minus 2. We're not going to bring it up past minus 2. Now that's at minus 2. Oops, I bounced that one all together, did I not? Let's hit that one again. So let's go back into where we're at before. And let's get this over here quick because I can't see jack with this in the way. All right, let's get over here real quick in the food demonstration. That's where we're at. All right, over there by the corn. There we go. And that's at minus 2. Still way below factory settings at minus 2. Now that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it and we're going to be a little bit generous. We'll bring it up to 20, but if we bring it up to 20, now we got to bring eco mode up to level 5. This projector's at eco mode at 5. I don't know why you would need eco mode on a projector that's lamp free. I don't know. You do the math on that one. All right, so let's come over here. Let's hit enter and let's bring it all the way up to, we're going to be generous. We're going to give it 20. That's all we're going to give it, just 20. That's all it's going to get. So bring it to 20. And then we're going to come out of here, and then I'm going to go into eco mode. At the bottom, there's eco mode right there. I'll show you the whole thing when we go up. There's the eco mode. I hit that for enter, then go down over here, and then we'll come back and hit enter again. Now here's eco mode right there. Eco mode, we're at 1. I'm going to jump that all the way up to 6. I think it's 5. 5 is on here as the max. So let's go over here and let's start jumping it. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 is the max. So we get it at 5. There's 5 is the max right there. But we have it at 20. Hear that projector? I can barely hear it. Fan is running on molasses right now. All right. We'll bring it back to those white levels. So now we're at eco mode 6. We're generous and gave it 20. That's all. Now this is if you decide to burn your projector at its high eco mode. Like I said, my Christies in here that are 43, they go all the way up to around 100 in brightness. They're at 22. There is no point. If I put them up at 100 on these screens to generate that much gain, it's too much. It's way too much. And I have to have them in whisper mode. Okay, so let's pause there for a minute. Now we'll take our, you can't even hear my projector, can you? Hear that? You can't hear nothing. That's from having on eco mode. Having that high up. You can't hear anything. Let's put it on normal settings. Usually most people have their projector set on. So we'll come down here, hit this, and we'll bring it down to the, oops, so. Oh, that's why the manual. I have to go into hitting, let me see, that's off. We don't want that off, I need it on. I need to have that on manual. There we go. Now we can bring it down and bring it down to, where was that? Which I have it on 1. And of course I had mine at already on 13. This is now on 20, so we'll come out of this. And we're still below factory settings at 20. So that's basic 20 at eco mode 1. Eating in the tire is funny. Oh my god. The part where I saw him sitting in the tire, oh my, that reminded me of Beavis and Butthead when he got in the tire and he pushed him down the hill and he ran over the teacher. I gotta look that episode up. And you guys remember that episode, they got a hold of the giant monster tire. They went up on top of the hill, and I don't know if it was Beavis or Butter, but one of them was actually inside the tire, and he rode him down the side of the hill. And he ran over, clean ran him over. So there is her levels at 20. So we're at 20 in eco mode 1. And those are her levels right there. So before I disconnect my projector, let's bring it up to the normal level, which most people have their projectors at. I'll bring it up to around 50. Ugh. I still bring it down back to where it was. That's the setting I like. It's actually a setting that I had it at. So we'll bring it up to, I'll bring it to 50. Maybe I'll bring it to 34. 34 should be good enough right there. And I'm not touching contrast. I'm going to leave contrast where it's at -1. That's all we need. Keep in mind my color balance, it's not even modified. My color balance is at normal. Everything is at standard and normal. So, you know, and the only thing we have it up is at 34. That's it. And yeah, I came out of that altogether. Ooh. Well, okay, people, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. If you do go, I'm going to put the model number of the projector I do have. Just be warning you from ahead of time, you know, mount this thing to your ceiling. Just, I don't even know how to go about that one, to tell you the truth. Honestly, I don't really know how to go about that one. If you mount it to your ceiling, I don't even know how you would, even if you turn it off, the laser's still in standby mode. So you have to understand that. Because even if you turn it off, you still run the risk of being nailed by the laser. Unless you basically go up there and put the lens cap on there, you know, manually, that's what you're going to have to do. Every time you turn this projector off, and I'll show you the projector as we're talking. So for those who just popping in, this is a DLP laser and LED hybrid projector. So let me see. Thank you. So this is a laser. This is a cheap laser projector. You can get them for around their Casio projectors. You can get them for around 180. Some are by a little more than that. But this one right there, this particular model, I got this one for 100. The most I pay is like 160 or 170. But some places you can get it for 139. So this is a lamp free. There's no lamping at all, which means you can stick this thing behind your wall, and this thing will never burn out. There's no lamping at all. Period. So the projector itself is DLP base. But the laser inside is LED and laser combined. So this is a hybrid projector. The only problem with these projectors is, see how this lens cap has this really shiny coating on the end of it right here? That's because even if you turn this projector off, like I'm about to turn off right now, see how it's in standby mode? Even if it's in standby mode, the laser is always active. Always active. Which I learned the hard way. I basically had 2 of these. This was the second time I bought it. I do like this particular projector because it's lamp free. But I did have one downstairs in one of the houses I was living at. And I had the projector turned off thinking the projector was off. I didn't put the lens cap on because, you know, you think the projector's off, right? So I go upstairs, make a phone, come downstairs, and a flashlight went off on the side of my face. And pretty much I had white spots for the rest of the day. I caught the laser coming downstairs because I didn't put the cap on it. So this is always active. Even if you have it in standby mode, unless you go and unplug it, that's the only way you're not going to get hit by that laser. If you buy one of these and it doesn't come with the cap on it, do not buy it. trust me, don't buy it, because you put your kids and your pets and yourself at danger if you walk in front of this. If you have this thing mounted to the ceiling, I guess every time you take this off and you turn it off, you just have to remember to come behind the back of it, like so, and put that back on. Every time I had to walk in front of the screen, I just took this little DVD and put it up front so I could block it so I wouldn't get hit with it. But that's the only problem with these laser projectors. The ones they had when they first came out, they were all long throw and they were a headache, because you walked in front of them, you got it good. Now the new projectors, if you notice, the new ultra short throw projectors, they have a sensor in the front where if you lean over top of it, the projector cuts off. Those are the new ones, but the older ones didn't have that on there. So be warned when you're buying these older laser projectors that a lot of them didn't have safety kill switches on them. And these particular ones right here, if it doesn't come with that protective lens cap over top of it, don't go near with a 10-foot pole, because you definitely will regret it. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. We may have some new stuff coming in. We're going to be painting pretty soon. And I have to get ready to start processing orders, because we have to get ready for that. If you did place an order, keep in mind you'll be getting a tracking number pretty soon. Driver's already made a day when she's going to be picking up the orders, and you'll be good to go. All right, well, thank you all for your time. I have to go, and God bless.